Hello, everybody. It's Dragon King 72 Media LLC. My name is Gregory. I'm gonna make this quick, and I'm gonna get back to the Black. Is it American Afro or African American awards that they're having? American Black Film Festival. I think that's what it is. I'm watching it right now, but it was pre-recorded. I'm sure it was live on BET at some point, but since I don't have BET, I can't watch it. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. When I tell y'all, I am so sick of Stephen A. fucking Smith, and this is good for him because the more people talk about him, yes, I know the more people, more, more of a social footprint he has on social media. I understand it. Okay, so I'm not oblivious or naive about that. So, but here's the thing: Stephen A. Smith is at it again, bringing up Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, excuse me, Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. He's saying that she has a 31% approval rating. I don't know where he's getting that number. Maybe it's actual factual. I don't know. I don't care enough to look it up. But if it is true, then if she were to run again, she's got to improve that number by at least 40%. You know what I'm saying? Minimum 40%. And by the time she gets to the presidency to run again, like, when she's actually there, for, in a world where we need her and she actually makes it again, it would have to be no less than 90%. And those are just facts, right? However, in true Stephen A. Smith form, he is trying to bring up all her flaws and her minuses, and her subtractions and how she ran her campaign, who she is. Um, he went on to say in this straight shooter broadcast, February 18th, which was just a few hours ago. February 18th was, today is the 19th, early in the morning. Um, he said that nobody really cared for her to be the candidate. And there was no primary, so they couldn't choose. Okay, we know there was no primary for her. We know people couldn't, because there was no primary, nobody could choose. It was her, right? But of course, he goes back and forth, compliments, subtraction about who she is. Um, he really just went in on her and said some horrible things. And he talked about her memoir and how she should have tried to run for governor of California when she didn't run the presidency. I don't know about you. I don't know about you. But that to me is a step down from being vice president. Once you reach that pivotal level of being president of the United States or vice president of the United States, and then you are, I wouldn't say forced, but you're only given the option to get even something remotely close to those is to be a governor of California. I don't think anybody with what she was bringing to the table with her education and experience would settle for that and be humbled with that for the rest of her time in political office. I know it wouldn't be me. I know it wouldn't be me. You know, it just, I'd wait like she is doing now, possibly run again, or get to another level, where she could have something prestigious. But to go from vice president next to the president and then go down to the governor, I don't think so. So my question is, why? I don't know if there's ever been a person, woman or man in history that was at such a high level in government as a government official and then you go down to something like a governor or a mayor of a city, I don't fucking think so. There's no way in hell that will be acceptable in the minds of somebody who was that close to all of that power, and then you go to a governor. I don't fucking think so. If you started off as a governor, became you went for vice president and you didn't get that, that's a whole nother conversation. But to be vice president and go back to being a governor, no, there's no way in fucking hell. There's no way in fucking hell. But Stephen A. Smith made it seem like that would been the best choice for her, having not won the presidency of the United States in 2024. Again, being of that high level of an official, that close to power, there's no way in the fucking world anybody should have settled for that. And the fact that it was a black woman and he said she should have went that route is also misogynistic. Very misogynistic. I don't give a fuck what he says about him supporting all these different marginalized community. How in the fuck would you tell a black, you wouldn't have told that to a white woman? You wouldn't have told that to somebody who was not black, that they should, if they didn't win the presidency, being the vice president, they should just go be a governor. Are you fucking crazy? You wouldn't have told that to no other race of woman, but you told it to Madam former Vice President Kamala Harris, because you have seen the writings on the wall about what people think about her, and you have used that and use it as a tool to go deep into her and to only add to the fuel, the negative words, the societal whipping at, if you will, not figuratively, not literally, figuratively, of this woman who has the experience, who has the education, who has the know-how, the qualifications out the wazoo. But because she was black and because everybody else is looking at her that way, you chose to take that. You chose to, and I don't give a fuck what y'all think about my hair. I really fucking don't. It's wintertime. I don't fucking know y'all. I wear hats. In the wintertime, I ain't going no fucking where. And this is what you're getting, like it or not. Unsubscribe if you fucking want to. But for those of you that are here and are with me, stay with me. He chose to use all of those societals, all those memes, all those conversations against her. And say something disrespectful, because to me that's disrespectful. You wouldn't have told that to a non-black woman. You definitely wouldn't have told it to a white woman. If a white woman was vice president, now you're telling her she didn't win the presidency, now she can go be a fucking governor. You wouldn't have said that to her. But because Kamala is who she is, skin and all, you believe that it's okay. And you're only adding to the fuel against her. I don't give a fuck what you say you voted for her. That shit don't wash no more. That shit does not wash anymore. You keep saying it, and then you go immediately into this rant and this denigrating of her character. And that's exactly what the fuck you doing every fucking day, Stephen A. Smith. And then there's this thing about you running for president. No, motherfucker, we don't give a fuck. You believe, and Jamil Hill, I can't believe she was talking the shit that she was talking. But towards the end of her video she made 2 days ago, I think it was the 16th of February, she eventually came to the conclusion that you probably more than likely would not win if you did, even if you did run, because that 93% of black women, they are not going to fucking vote for you. You may get black men who believe that they've been underserved. You may get white men who believe what you believe, but black women are the most powerful, are the most significant voters out here. 93% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. in this last election. Stephen A. Smith, how much of that 93% that voted for Kamala Harris do you think you will fucking get? And the answer is fucking zero. You would get fucking zero, brother. Zero. That's what you would get. You would get some of that 7% that would be left if they vote the same way in 20, if you were to run in 2028, and if they voted the same way they did in 2024, you would only get 2% of that 7 that would vote for somebody like you or another Republican. You ain't gonna get much. And it will be black women that would break your attempts to become president of the United States. Because after all, they say 20 million people didn't even vote, something to that effect. So with that in mind, you go after this woman, you go after her and talk about, basically you told her she shouldn't, you said in previous videos that she shouldn't make a memoir about how she felt in her 107 days. Why not? She has the right to tell her own fucking story. She has a right to tell it the way she experienced it, the way she felt it, from sun up to sundown. You and anybody else don't have the right and never had the right to tell her that she shouldn't have wrote a book about her life experiences. Because if you were to write a book, I'm quite sure that you will be your typical loudmouth ass on your straight shooter podcast show. I'll call it the fuckery and buffoonery show. Clowns with no fucking circus show. You would be saying the same thing. This is your story. This is your life, and you're going to tell it the way you want to tell it. You're going to get ahead of anybody writing any fucking books about you and what you experience, whether it's as a sportscaster or some bullshit motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, who on the video like myself, you know what I'm saying, we all can be bullshit to somebody, and we all think we seeing something that a lot of people can respect, and even myself. But a lot of times, that other part of the audience thinks we straight bullshit. That's fine too. It's called having an opinion and having an asshole, and we all got one. So, with that being said, you sat up there and said all this shit about Kamala Harris, but yet you think that you would be able to slaughter everybody if you were to run and be on a debate stage. You probably don't know this, and maybe you do, and it's the money that's got you fucking confused. Those people that you say are secretly asking you to run for office, the mayors, the governors, these multi-billionaires, you think you're more important than you are, brother. You think you're more important than you are. And the reality is, you are a small, very small fish in a pond of motherfuckers who control this whole fucking country. Okay? These people are laughing behind your back. You are a necessary tool, and they see you as a primate, and they see you as a primate who is performing for them on stage. Okay? They don't really value you. They don't really appreciate any fucking thing. You are being performative at their pleasure. Okay? Not your will, but at their pleasure. And that's exactly what it boils down to. Okay? You also said in an interview previously that, I think it was the 17th that you, or the 16th, that was a popular day to do these kind of crazy videos. You, Jamil Hill, and a few people else, you said that you don't believe the amount of racism that other black people complain about is actually happening in our world today. Are you out of your fucking mind, Stephen A. Smith? Are you out of your fucking mind? I can guarantee you, if you, brother, did not have the money you have, nobody would be fucking with you. You would just be some loud-mouthed Negro inside a black barbershop. You would be some coon at the goddamn nickel and dime store, you know what I'm saying, talking shit to women that you would never be able to get. You know what I'm saying? And they would just be browsing on a fun day to be at the nickel and dime store. Okay? That's what's going on, brother. Racism, it is as bad because we see it in you. You've played the game. You are a part of the chess pieces. You are what they call a pawn in chess. That's it. You're not a queen. You're not a king. You're not a rook. You are a pawn, brother. And they are moving you all through these chess pieces. They are gaslighting you. They are gassing you the fuck up as if they really believe that you are a performative act. You're a performative act. All you need now is a fiddle and go find Chicken George and what's the other one? And Fiddler. Okay? That's all. That's all it is, brother. You actually sat there and said that you don't believe as much racism is out here as people say it is. Why is that? Why is that, Stephen A. Smith? Why is that, brother? Because you have now crossed over into a financial threshold where it doesn't affect you the way you think it does. It doesn't affect you because you are around the elites. You are getting the money. You are you are at those tables. That's why you became the person that you with this whole sports thing and loudmouth and all this old shit because you wanted to get access to those tables. Because there was a time, just like anybody else, who got a 9 to 5, a 10 to 6, 11 to 7, 12 to 8, 1 to 9, 2 to 10, 3 to 11, 11 to 7 in the morning job, and you never thought, I will never be at those tables. I will never have those circles. Now your reality has come true for you. So now everything that you struggle with, you don't have to deal with anymore. Right now, if somebody calls you the N word, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to, like everybody else, call it out the way it needs to be called out? Or are you going to sanitize the situation so you can be in the good graces of those people who were in that room that didn't call you the N word, but still had a relationship with the person that did? Is that what you're going to do? Because that means that you have become the footprint of what where not to go, where not to step. And you keep talking about your money, about how you would never become president because you would have to give up making the type of money that you make. Well, I'm shocked because a man like you, who's a narcissist, you know what I'm saying, who's a loudmouth motherfucker, you more like Trump than you realize. And maybe that's the plan. I'm surprised because that would be a lot of power for you, and you're a narcissist. Men like you thrive on narcissism, like you do on your podcast show. And I bet you believe you the smartest motherfucker in the room. And me being an educated motherfucker, well educated the way I am, even I have had to be humbled a few times. You haven't been humbled yet, and that's your fucking problem. And when one of them people who you say are not being as racist as you think the country is, you're gonna find out real quick. No matter how much money you make, no matter how you dress, $5,000 suit or $300 pair of jeans, you will always be a Negro with a hard R on the end to these people. Always, brother. You can love yourself, you can love your blackness, you can love black people, but to those people who you thrive, to you really want to be next to, guess what? You will always be a Negro with a hard R at the end of the fucking day. At the end of the day, I don't care about this judge a person by their character. The only person that can get away with that is Martin Luther King Jr., and he is long gone, and may he rest in his eternal peace. He was a leader for everybody. You are not that. Okay? That's your problem, brother. That interview that you did was absolutely fucking disgusting. That you did when you said you don't believe they're making racism out to be more than what it is. Are you fucking crazy? Hey, Joy Reid, I know you never going to see this because I'm low on the pole when it comes to subscribers and all of that. But if you were to ever see this, Joy, please go get his ass together. Dissect that whole fucking interview with Stephen A. Smith and go live with it. And here's another thing, Joy. How about we do this? I would love to come on your show as a audience panel member. You know, make sure everybody follow the guidelines. You know what I'm saying? Everybody understands what we're doing. But I would like to see you do a show like that, where you're not taking people who are known in society, but everyday people. Have them on a panel, regular people, regular 9 to 5, and ask them what do they think about Stephen A. Smith, and ask them where is your mind at when it comes to looking at that individual. That's a panel. That's a live I would like to see. Because as much as I like to see people who have the authority and certifications in their respective fields about what's going on in our political world right now, I also would like to see more of you YouTube influencers with these high subscriberships. Get everyday people on your panel. Make that connection to everyday people. And it will give you a whole different perspective of what people are really saying. Because it's one thing if you've seen it in the chat, but to match those voices in the chat that's typing with actual faces and you see those emotions, it'll make a difference in the world. And I think somebody needs to do that. I don't have enough subscribers to do it. I'm no longer on TikTok because TikTok is now demanding that you sign off on giving all your personal data, your likes, your this, your interests to people who to corporations that run ads, so they can better serve you with ads that you like. I'm not fucking doing that. I left TikTok. Now it's going on. It's like a month now. By the end of the week, it'll be a month. I don't fuck with TikTok no more. And with Donald Trump having sold it, and they're blocking everybody's shit, I don't want to be over there anymore. But I was really disappointed in Stephen A. Smith consistently going after former Madam Vice President Kamala Harris. I mean, he has to bring her up every fucking time. He has to give his fucking audience red meat, and when he don't think they had enough, he goes into that old school bag and just talks about Kamala Harris and her failed presidency and her doing this and wrong and her doing this wrong. The man is fucking crazy. And it's a telltale sign that a lot of black men out here hate powerful black women. I mean, just look at Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? He don't want an energy stronger than his. Especially when she matching the energy with him. And then, the colorism thing, that's a whole nother conversation, right? But Stephen A. Smith is a disgusting human being. He's a disgusting human being. And I don't know why more black men who love, respect, and appreciate black women and know that they are the foundation of the world, they are that strength of the world, don't sit up there and tell that man, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, not just for Jasmine Crockett, because I think they was getting on his ass about Jasmine Crockett. So he changed his tune a little bit. Not by much though. But you going after Kamala, and then you said the Obamas didn't support her. I mean, most candidates who have not been in that type of, well, she was in the previously, when Donald Trump was with that other his vice president. You know, she was in the campaign process, but people have to wait and see. And there's nothing wrong. We all don't always immediately support somebody. That doesn't mean that we don't believe in them. That doesn't mean we don't support them. That means we want to see what you're capable of doing. Are you worthy? And there's nothing that happens that happens in a job. You don't get a promotion until you prove that you can get the promotion. You know what I'm saying? People observe. You know what I'm saying? You don't get the next house until you've proven that your credit score. The bank is not going to approve you for a bigger loan, for a bigger house, until you've proven you got good credit, you got a good credit score, you can maintain a credit. That's a part of life. So when you mentioning that the Obamas didn't even support her right away, okay, so fucking what? They wanted to see if she had what it take to get in the dirt, you know what I'm saying, with Donald Trump. Because after all, she went against Pence. She wasn't going against Donald Trump, not necessarily. So, I mean, that's natural. That is absolutely fucking natural. You ain't gonna become captain of the football team unless you prove you got leadership skills. Hello? You know what I'm saying? So why is it any different? When you made it seem like the Obamas didn't respect her, like they didn't care for her, and that wasn't the case, brother. That wasn't the case. They watching to see is she worthy of getting their support, and that happens in every aspect in life. The fact that you said it wasn't immediate, you made it look like they didn't like her. Again, you creating this negative narrative that this woman was not worthy of even being considered, and that's just not right. Whether or not she was the person everybody liked is irrelevant. She was qualified, and I've been at jobs where they say you have to have a certain type of qualifications. You present those qualifications, and it still doesn't fucking matter. It's who you know, and I learned that the hard way because I was raised. You go to school, get your education, you do this, that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a guarantee, but it's a better way to get in than having nothing at all. But where I worked previously in a government installation, they didn't give a shit about my education. But yet that education was used as a criteria to be considered for the job. So you can imagine the dichotomy going on there. You say your education doesn't matter, but you got it on there as one of the criteria to even be considered for the job. But hey, life is what life is. You gotta fucking move on, right? Right. But Stephen A. Smith, you are a disappointment. You are a disappointment, brother. I think that, and I predict, I'm a very intuitive Pisces. I predict Stephen A. Smith, the universe is going to humble you. Let me repeat it again. The universe is going to humble you, Stephen A. Smith. What that is, what form it's coming in, how, when, what direction, I don't know. But I am predicting that the universe is going to humble your ass sooner than later. Sooner than later. The universe is going to humble your ass sooner than later, brother. And I hope that you are ready to take a good look at yourself when it happens and how you want to change your behavior, especially when it comes to what looks like black women, black people, because we've all been told this: all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching Dragon King 72 Media LLC. I'm Gregory. Tell your friends, tell your frenemies, tell your stepfather you don't like, your stepmother you hate. Just tell anybody. Come check it out. Subscribe, share, tell your people. Peace.